They told us history began 5,000 years ago, that before that we were just scattered tribes wandering the earth, no cities, no science, no memory. But what if that's a lie? What if there's a structure so ancient, so precise, so out of place, that it simply shouldn't be there? But it is. Hidden beneath the waters of Japan lies Yonaguni, a massive stone monument with staircases, columns, and perfect angles, as if someone over 10,000 years ago shaped each block with intention and intelligence. Now listen to this. While mainstream science turns a blind eye, geologists, divers, and independent researchers all around the world are warning that this structure might be the key to rewriting everything we know about our past. A lost city? A sacred temple? Or maybe proof that we weren't the first. And the most unsettling part? The government knows and does nothing. No official excavation, no archaeological recognition, as if they're hiding something, as if this truth is too dangerous to tell. In this video, you'll dive deep, literally, into one of the greatest enigmas of our time, a mystery that defies logic, disturbs academia, and may shatter everything you thought you knew about human history. Get ready to see what they never wanted you to notice, because something is down there, something ancient, something that shouldn't be there, but is. They told us history began 5,000 years ago, that before that we were just scattered tribes wandering the earth. No cities, no science, no memory. But what if that's a lie? What if there's a structure so ancient, so precise, so out of place, that it simply shouldn't be there? But it is. Hidden beneath the waters of Japan lies Yonaguni, a massive stone monument with staircases, columns, and perfect angles, as if someone over 10,000 years ago shaped each block with intention and intelligence. Now listen to this. While mainstream science turns a blind eye, geologists, divers, and independent researchers all around the world are warning that this structure might be the key to rewriting everything we know about our past. A lost city? A sacred temple? Or maybe proof that we weren't the first. And the most unsettling part? The government knows and does nothing. No official excavation, no archaeological recognition, as if they're hiding something, as if this truth is too dangerous to tell. In this video, you'll dive deep, literally, into one of the greatest enigmas of our time, a mystery that defies logic, disturbs academia, and may shatter everything you thought you knew about human history. Get ready to see what they never wanted you to notice. Because something is down there, something ancient, something that shouldn't be there, but is. It was supposed to be just another dive off the coast of Okinawa. But in 1986, a local diver named Kiichiro Aratake saw something that didn't make sense. A massive structure underwater, shaped, aligned, and carved too precisely to be random. Stairs, platforms, angles too straight. It didn't look natural. What he found wasn't just rock. It was the start of a mystery that science still can't explain. Since then, the discovery has sparked a quiet war between geologists, archaeologists, and truth seekers. Some say it's just erosion. Others insist there's no way this happened naturally. Books were written, documentaries filmed, and always the same chilling question remains: should that even be there? Because honestly, it looks too perfectly made to be anything but intentional. Now imagine yourself diving, expecting coral and fish, and finding what looks like a sunken city with symmetrical steps and submerged chambers. The feeling? Like stumbling upon a secret you were never supposed to uncover. And what if this was just the beginning? Picture walking through a structure the size of an 8-story building underwater. The Yonaguni monument is about 100 meters long, 25 meters high, and 60 meters wide, with massive steps, stone platforms, and columns arranged in uncanny symmetry. And it's all carved from a single rock formation. Coincidence? Or a mystery designed with purpose? The shapes challenge nature. The lines are too straight, the corners too perfect. Experts say it looks like ancient temples, like the Mayan ruins or the Great Pyramids. But here's the twist. If humans built this, they did it thousands of years before Egypt or Sumer existed. And not just on land, under the ocean. That alone breaks everything we thought we knew about ancient civilizations. For some, it's just a strange rock. For others, it's a silent message from a time we've forgotten. Because if someone could build something this massive, this precise, what else were they capable of? And the deeper you look, the more the mystery pulls you in. And beneath those waves, something even stranger may be waiting. Masaaki Kimura isn't just some random enthusiast. He's a respected marine geologist and professor who spent over 15 years diving into Yonaguni, literally, and he came to a bold conclusion. This structure was built by human hands. Tool marks on the rock, straight lines, symmetrical walls. pathways linking sections. His conclusion wasn't speculation, it was science. He even compared it to historic Okinawan architecture, like Shuri Castle, finding similar construction patterns. Kimura believes it was made over 10,000 years ago, before writing, before organized farming, before the pyramids. If he's right, this could be evidence of a civilization erased from official history. But what's more intriguing isn't what he found, it's what's missing. No names, no legends, no written record, just stone and silence. And that silence, that's the real mystery. Because who builds something so massive, then disappears completely? Whenever something appears where it shouldn't, old theories resurface. And in Yonaguni's case, it's the legend of Mu, a lost continent in the Pacific, supposedly home to a wise and advanced civilization that vanished after a cataclysm. Sounds like Atlantis? Same idea. Except Mu would have been Asia's version. And suddenly, Yonaguni fits right in. Ancient texts, obscure maps, even local myths hint at a lost land swallowed by the ocean. And when you look at Yonaguni through that lens, the giant structures, the precise angles, the remote location, it all starts to line up. Maybe, just maybe, we didn't lose Mu to fiction. We lost it to time. And get this, references to Mu aren't just from crazy theorists. Tibetan scrolls, Pacific Island traditions, even early European explorers mentioned it. If there's any truth to that, Yonaguni might be the last whisper of a forgotten world. But what if Mu isn't the end of the story? What if it's just the first clue? Take a deep breath and think about this. If this colossal structure is now 25 meters underwater, what does that say about Earth's past? Some experts argue that during the last ice age, sea levels were drastically lower, meaning Yonaguni was once dry land. And if that's true, it wasn't just possible, it was likely that someone built it over 10,000 years ago. A mystery that clashes head-on with everything mainstream archaeology teaches. Most known civilizations, Egypt, Sumer, the Indus Valley, appeared only 5,000 to 6,000 years ago. But Yonaguni might predate them all. Imagine a culture that existed before writing, before agriculture, and still built something like this. That's not just strange, that's revolutionary. But here's the problem, no one wants to rewrite the history books. It's safer to ignore the anomaly. But some things can't be ignored forever. Yonaguni stands as a monument, not just of stone, but of forgotten time. Were they ancient people? Visitors from somewhere else? A lost branch of humanity? The answers might be beneath more layers of rock. Because what if Yonaguni is just the first piece of a buried puzzle? Like any great mystery, Yonaguni didn't just split rocks, it split the scientific community. On one side, traditional geologists claim erosion, tectonic activity, and natural fractures shaped what we see. Kind of like when a cloud looks like a dragon. But let's be real, clouds don't have symmetrical stairs and 90-degree walls. On the other side, independent researchers and even some architects argue these formations are too precise, too structured, and too intentional to be nature's work. They found lines, flat planes, carved corners, and even chambers. Not guesses, measurements. And that's when science starts to get nervous. Because this debate isn't just about some rocks in Japan. It's about everything we've been taught. What if we've been standing on the ruins of a forgotten civilization this whole time? And what if Yonaguni is just the one we accidentally found? What else lies out there, still hiding? And now we reach the part no one wants to talk about because it's uncomfortable. Some theorists believe the truth about Yonaguni is being suppressed by governments and academic institutions alike. Why? Because if it's real, it would destroy everything we thought we knew about early human history. And let's be honest, those at the top rarely enjoy having the story flipped on them. Think about it, rewriting historical timelines, admitting errors in archaeology, questioning long-held dogmas, that's risky business. Careers would crumble, authority would shift, and secrets would be exposed. So maybe it's easier to pretend Yonaguni doesn't matter. But silence doesn't erase truth. And the more they try to hide it, the more people want to know. Because when something is buried this deep, it's usually hiding something big. And here's where the mystery takes a darker turn. Divers who've explored Yonaguni report more than just rocks. Malfunctioning equipment, dead batteries, spinning compasses, a constant eerie feeling of being watched. Some have even experienced disorientation, claiming minutes underwater turned into hours on the surface. This isn't fiction, it's first-hand testimony. Some say it's just the ocean playing tricks. Others believe the site might sit on an electromagnetic anomaly, or perhaps a spiritual energy field left behind by its builders. Either way, something's happening there, and it's not just geological. Because when multiple unrelated people describe the same unexplainable sensations, it's not just coincidence, it's a pattern. And that pattern might be a signal or a warning. Here's what really raises eyebrows. The Japanese government acknowledges the site, but refuses to call it archaeological. No digs, no preservation, no official research, just silence. And when power looks away on purpose, that's when you know something's up. Why not investigate? Why not invest in research or tourism? Why leave one of the world's most mysterious structures to rot in saltwater? Unless acknowledging it would force a conversation they don't want to have. A conversation about what came before us. So while the government stays quiet, it's up to independent divers and rogue scholars to tell the story. And the longer Yonaguni remains unstudied, the more people suspect maybe they already know what it is, and that's exactly why they stay silent. Some independent researchers have reported something even more mind-blowing: carvings, symbols, patterns etched into stone that don't belong to any known language. They're repeated, deliberate, possibly coded. Could this be the remains of a forgotten script, the written voice of a civilization wiped from the map? Some even say the symbols resemble those found in faraway places. Easter Island, ancient Peru, even early India. How could the same patterns appear across the globe thousands of years ago, unless there was once a shared knowledge or a common teacher? A mystery written in stone, waiting for someone who knows how to read it. So here's the question: who wrote it, and why? Was it a warning, a ritual, a message for the future, or something left behind for those brave enough to ask? What if the monument we see is just the tip of something much larger? Some sonar scans suggest more structures lie buried nearby, possibly a vast city lost to time. Streets, halls, temples, hidden beneath sand and coral, untouched by human hands for thousands of years. That changes everything, because now we're not just talking about one freak formation. We're talking about a lost civilization, swallowed by the ocean and forgotten by the world. And if no one's investigating, is it neglect or cover-up? What else is buried down there? Could Yonaguni be just the doorway to a whole underwater metropolis that was never meant to be seen again? Some believe this lost civilization didn't disappear randomly. It was destroyed, a cataclysmic event. Maybe a megaquake, maybe a tsunami. The region sits on one of the world's most active fault lines. And if a disaster hit, it could have wiped an entire city off the map in a single day. Just like Pompeii, just like Atlantis, just like countless coastal settlements lost to history. If true, this explains why no records remain, why everything feels so sudden and so silent. All that's left is stone. And that stone stands as a warning. Because if something that advanced was erased without a trace, how safe are we really? What if Yonaguni wasn't just a city, but a spiritual or celestial temple? Some believe its layout aligns with the sun's solstices or ancient constellations. That would make it a kind of underwater Stonehenge, a place not just of ritual, but of cosmic knowledge. Researchers say certain angles of the structure match the summer solstice sunrise, or the rising of Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. If that's true, its builders weren't just architects. They were astronomers, visionaries, maybe even priests. And if Yonaguni was indeed a sacred site, then what we're looking at isn't just lost history, it's forgotten wisdom, encoded in stone, and maybe, just maybe, it's waiting for someone who can still hear it. Now here's where it gets really wild. What if Yonaguni isn't alone? Some believe it's part of a global network linked to other submerged ruins off Cuba, India, Greece, and South America, all showing similar architecture, similar alignments, similar mysteries. Different places, different cultures, same anomalies. Could it be that ancient civilizations were more connected than we think? That they shared knowledge or had a common origin? That maybe our so-called prehistory was really just the second act of a forgotten golden age? And if that's true, if these ancient sites were once part of a single vast world, then Yonaguni may be more than a curiosity. It could be the key. After all the theories, dives, and decades of research, we still don't know for sure. No one's cracked the case, and maybe that's what makes Yonaguni so powerful. It keeps asking questions instead of giving answers. It stands quiet and still, reminding us we don't know everything. Maybe we never did. That's why people keep coming back. That's why the mystery lives on. Because beneath the stone and seawater, there's something older than history. Something that doesn't just want to be found, but wants to make us remember. And if Yonaguni is asking the right questions, what other truths might be waiting beneath the surface?
So tell me, do you still believe we know the whole story of humanity? Or are we just clinging to the safest version we've been handed? Yonaguni isn't just underwater stone, it's a test, a quiet reminder that the world is bigger, older, and far more mysterious than we were ever told. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to start asking better questions.
Now I want to hear from you. Do you think other Yonagunis are still hidden out there? Why don't we ever hear about them? What would you do if you uncovered something that could change everything? Would you stay silent or share it with the world? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this conversation is bigger than just one video. If this content made you think differently, if it sparked curiosity or cracked open new ideas, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, and join me as we uncover the planet's greatest mysteries, one by one.
This is only the beginning.